The BBC's global disinformation team has said that it found no evidence that the Chicago State University CSU diploma certificate President Bola Tinubu submitted to the country's electoral commission was forged. Recall that there have been different reactions since allegations that President Tinubu's certificate was faked went viral on social media following the Chicago State University's release of his academic records last week.
Well, reacting to the report by the BBC team, Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party said the BBC erred in its fact-check report, adding that the report was part of a hatchet job aimed at turning the tide in Tinubu's favor. Ikechukwu, Amaechi, publisher of the Niche newspaper, put out an article titled "Exposing the Misinformation" in BBC's report on Tinubu's CSU certificate. And he joins us now this morning to further discuss on the BBC report. It's a case about fact-checking, and no doubt we know what and what is involved. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right, so we do know that the case of fact-checking has to do with a lot of research, a lot of fact-finding. Don't mind me, I'm just talking off the heel of the program known as The Proof here on News Central. But then again, let's focus on what the BBC put out and why there are so many counter-reactions concerning that article.
Well, the fact of the many reactions against that particular news report by BBC simply points to the fact that it does not seem to agree with what we know to be false. Of course, we are encouraged to fact check. It is one of the tools with which investigative journalists can do a very good job, so that at the end of the day, whatever it is anybody is reading there or whatever journalists are producing as their work will be authenticated, will be seen to be correct. But in this case, what BBC, in fact, I don't know what BBC was trying to do or what they actually wanted Naseta to achieve, because the evidence is out there. The deposition of the registrar of the Chicago State University is a document that is there in the open. The certified true copy has been released to the public. And where do we start from? There is evidence to show that the registrar West Badge was asked specifically if the certificate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented to INEC came from them, and they said no. So what did they fact check, and what are they trying to do? I think that is why many people are reacting the way they are reacting, because it is now a question of people fact-checking the fact-checkers. Because what has been found out is that what was actually termed to be fact-checking is turned out to be something different altogether.
Yeah, I mean, the of course reactions have been very pretty bad to the BBC's fact checking. What would you say prompted this, and how relevant really is the BBC's fact checking in the conversation concerning the president's certificate? Because there's been people who have also said Nigerians should move on. There's no need to continue to go back and forth about this. There are those who, of course, we've interviewed here who said, there's no, once again, there's no need, and the president's already there. We shall allow him run his 4 years, in office, and keep it moving that way. In another 4 years, maybe whoever it is that wants to try can try again. But how relevant is the BBC's report, and why is it even being given this much attention?
Those who say we should move on, that after 4 years, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will leave the presidency and then we'll get it right. They are not getting it right. And if I may say, I think that is the reason why we are where we are today. See, the BBC is the British Broadcasting Corporation. In Britain, a Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, was forced to resign because he threw a party during COVID-19 when people were not allowed to be together. He lied about it. He was found out, called out, and he resigned for throwing a party. And we are saying the same BBC is coming to model the water in Nigeria, where it has been, at least from the deposition. And this is somebody giving evidence under oath that the certificate which he submitted was forged. And the definition of forgery is a straightforward thing. When what you claim to be did not originate from the source from which you said it came from. It is as simple as that. And look, we are talking about multiple forgeries here. Don't forget, okay, we are only talking about the Chicago State University certificate. Don't forget that when the president was at the Chatham House last year, he did say specifically that he has received his replacement certificate directly, that the Chicago State University sent him the replacement certificate. So from the deposition of the Chicago State University, it turned out that he was lying. And, you know, there is no better way to put these things, because if you say what is not true, if you are economical with the truth, you have lied. And when people say this, the government and its agents go out there threatening people and making all manner of accusations. But if you have lied, you have lied. Because we are talking about evidence supplied by the Chicago State University itself under oath, saying that the replacement certificate that the president submitted to INEC did not come from them. In fact, they said they still have the copy of the I think that July 27th copy of the 1999 certificate. So if they still have it, as again, West Badge said under oath, it then means that even the one the president said that he had and which he lost when he went on exile, again, is not true. So we have layers and layers. Okay, are we talking about the Government College Lagos, from which he said he graduated in 1970, when the school actually was established in 1974? So what are we talking about? The issue is that the president has been caught pants down in layers and layers and layers of being economical with the truth. And if we stretch this to 1999, when the president said he attended one primary school in Ibadan and attended government college in Ibadan, and he was called out, and in the 2003 form he submitted to INEC, he refused to fill in his primary school. He left it blank. Secondary school, he left it blank. And that's what impunity does to a people. So to suggest by anybody that this should be allowed to go so that after 4 years we'll get it right. Don't forget, APC also presented us with this same problem when President Muhammadu Buhari also had the same certificate issue. Okay, we let it go. 8 years down the road, has the problem been solved? The answer is no. 8 years down the road, we now have the Tinubu gate, as it were, as some people are now calling it. So from the Buhari gate, we now have the Tinubu gate. So if we also allow this to go, I can assure you next 4 years or next 8 years, we will now have somebody who never went to anywhere, and there will be precedents. What did he do to Buhari? What did he do to Tinubu? And why must it be me? So we can't allow this to go. That is part of the reason why this country is not making any progress, because we have allowed too many things to go, thinking that it will get better. It never gets better.
All right, Mr. Amaechi, I'd like us to look at this article in two folds. First off, from a journalist point of view, do you think that the Nigerian journalists or the press are indeed taking more time to dig into this story for better explanation to Nigerians? That's one. Do you think journalists, the press, are doing enough? Secondly, do you think, I know just yesterday we had talked about the Financial Times story that was published, talking about the current president and how he's going in the past 5 months. Although they also posted with facts and details of how things are going. They focused on the economy. So it's only right for us to also look at another article from the BBC. But do you think that the BBC article should indeed rock the boat of this entire conversation? Or do you think it is infinitesimal? It doesn't really matter?
I have said categorically that that article matters to the extent that I think it is an attempt to model the waters. It is not a credible article, and there is evidence to prove that it's not a credible article. And that evidence is nothing other than what transpired at the Illinois court. There is a deposition which all of us have the certified true copy. And that deposition does not agree with what BBC is putting out there. So to that extent, people should be able to call out that reportage, because personally, I don't think it is true. Whether the Nigerian media is doing enough on this certificate saga issue, my own personal opinion is no, we are not. And I was discussing with somebody the other day, I think that was on Sunday, who said, look, imagine if this shoe was to be on the other foot. Imagine if any other person other than APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu was to be the president today, and Bola Tinubu is in the opposition. All hell would have been let loose by now. So we have a situation where those who know what it takes to protest, those who easily call out people on the street, those who know how to agitate, are the same people who are in government. They control the levers of power in the media. And that is why the voice of so many people, particularly the critical voice of the media, that is why most of these voices are muted today. You can imagine what happened in 2012 when the then President Goodluck Jonathan removed fuel subsidy. All hell broke loose. when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did it from the first day with very, very disastrous consequences. People have moved on and the economy has virtually collapsed. So, to answer your question straight, I don't think that the media is doing enough. And that is a very, very sad commentary on the media. We should be able to have the courage to call out whoever else without minding whose us is God. And the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, submitted a forged certificate to INEC, and he must be called out. And we can't allow it to go. We can't afford to sweep the matter under the carpet, because if we do that, Nigeria will be worse for it.
Well, I think it's still fair to say allegedly, concerning the allegations of forgery. Will you expect that the Supreme Court, will, be able to look through these facts, that you've mentioned that are currently on ground from the deposition, from, previous court rulings, from, I think there's also even previous, I did see a court document yesterday that was eventually withdrawn many, many years ago, where someone was suing the current president for pretty much the same case, and amongst others. Do you expect that the Supreme Court will be able to look at these very clear facts and be able to come to a conclusion that Nigerians will, maybe not generally, but, majority of Nigerians will agree with?
I think they should. Because the suit you alluded to, which was withdrawn many years ago, on this same matter, was withdrawn on technical grounds because they said that then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Lagos State was protected under Section 308 and had immunity, and therefore could not be investigated as the governor. So that case was dropped on that technical ground. It wasn't as if there was no merit in that case. In any case,
no. Are you referring to the 2011 case that was filed by Attorney General Bello Aduke back then?
No, I was referring to the one of 1999 that was pursued by the late Chief Nagane Fawemi on that issue.
Oh, no, I was referring to a different one. There's a Bello Aduke case from 2011. That, of course, it says here that Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 1999, on the occasion of making a statement at INEC, submitted the INEC headquarters in Abuja, touching his educational background, knowingly made a false statement in oath, which is stated. Anyway, it's too long to read, but basically accused him once again of making false statements on that oath, submitting fake documents or false documents, and then a couple of weeks later the case was withdrawn. But go ahead anyway.
Well, yeah. If that's the one you're talking about, of course, now the only reason why that case was withdrawn would have been political pressure, not from everybody, because the president himself had declaimed those certificates by not including them in the form he filled in 2023. He had denied that he left blank where he ought to have put in a primary school. And also, he left blank the space for secondary school. So the only thing he had there was Chicago State University. So if he actually attended Government College Ibadan, as he claimed in 1999, so why leave it out in 2023? See, we have a very, very big problem on our hands. And the reason why this thing has gone on and on over the years is because we have allowed impunity to reign. Impunity has emboldened those who have looked Nigerians in the face and say, you can go to hell. That was why somebody could wake up in the morning and claim what he is not, because no matter how much we try to whitewash this, the fact of the matter is that what you claimed in 1999, it is just like you now. If 5 years ago you said you attended this in a secondary school, in the next 1 million years, if you attended that secondary school, it should be a fact that you attended the secondary school. So if you claim and nobody has come out to dispute the fact that they claim, or that the president claimed he attended one primary school, Aroloya, in Ibadan, children's school, Aroloya, and then he attended government college, Ibadan. There is no evidence to show. And the president himself has left out those spaces blank in the form he filled in 2023, confirming that what he did in 1999 may not have been correct. And in the documents released by Chicago State University, we are now seeing Government College Lagos. So when and where did Government College Lagos come in? In any case, even the Government College Lagos, you are saying you graduated in 1970, when the Government College Lagos was set up in 1974. So, my brother, there must be an end to all these layers of lies. You know, the problem with lies is that you must tell more lies continuously in order to cover whatever you have said in the past. Nigerians cannot allow this to go.
Just to clarify, the Bello Aduke document I was speaking about earlier says that he made a false statement on oath that he attended Government College Ibadan between 1962 and 1965, both dates inclusive, whereas in truth did not attend said school within the stated period that is mentioned, and of course it's punishable under Section 191 of the Criminal Code. This and that. Just to clarify, it's Government College Ibadan, 1962-1965, that Bello Aduke was challenging.
I am saying that even the president himself, under oath, has disclaimed those certificates, because in his INEC form in 2023, he left the space for secondary school blank. If, for crying out loud, he graduated from Government College Ibadan, he should be proud to include it in his form, because it is required. Now we are seeing Government College Lagos in the new. I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken Nigerians for a ride for far too long, and it is unfair. It is unfair, because what is happening now is that out there, every Nigerian will negatively impacted by this issue. Every certificate you provide anywhere in the world will be seen as fake until you prove it is real. And that's not fair. That's not fair. The president is being unfair to Nigerians, and he should be forcefully called out. The honorable thing for him to do at this stage, because he has been caught flat-footed on this issue, he does not have the certificates he is claiming that he has.
All right.
And that is against the law.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Amaechi. So far so good. We've looked at the BBC article, and of course you did put up a rejoinder, a response to that article where you did your own fact-checking. In other words, you helped BBC to fact-check what they fact-checked using the deposition. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you again.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
All right.